Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another episode. Today I've got a video slash audio about the daily grind of being a CRA. We've got a lot of people that watch this channel that are interested in becoming CRAs, clinical research associate, and I want to, just because I am one and have been for a while now, just kind of want to talk about what is the day-to-day life, what is the daily grind, especially on the road, of being a CRA. People just hear about all the great stuff. And overall, it's probably one of my favorite jobs I've ever had and one of the best jobs I've ever had. And I would go toe to toe with anyone saying it's one of the best jobs that you can possibly get, especially if you love to travel. So you guys know about the constant travel requirements, the 65 to 75% of your time spent spent on the road. And those are real numbers. And just so you guys know, as a sudden aside, if you're watching on YouTube, I've got some footage of my last trip to Canada. This was a fairly recent trip. I don't know when this is going to be posted, but fairly recent trip. I've got food in the background. I've got footage of my hotel room. Stayed at the DoubleTree, so I've got the cookies there. Got some amazing food there, and maybe I'll talk about it as we go through this. But, that's just one of the big perks of being a CRA, staying in 4- and 5-star hotels every night, eating 5-star food while you're on the road. When I'm on the road, I eat food that I never would buy, never, ever, ever would buy in my personal life. I never, ever, ever spend $100 in a day, $75 in a day, whatever it may be for the city, $125 in a day on food. I never, ever, ever, ever have done that unless it's a special occasion like my birthday or something, or taking my family out. I'll take my whole family out for $100, but never, ever, ever do I spend that much money, 75, 125, whatever it is for that city, on myself in one day. So you get to eat incredible food as a CRA. I had some bone marrow here in Canada. I only did that on very, very special occasions, steak. You even do tapas. I never go to tapas in my real life. But on the road, if you have that much money to spend, you can get, this appetizer, salad, soup, sandwich. I want to try this, or I want to try that, and this, and that, and this. So it's awesome. Also, you can kind of like take your friends out to eat also. That's awesome. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. So a lot of big perks like that. Also the travel, but the travel is a grind because you have work to do, you have deliverables. Your main deliverables are getting your reports in on time. So you got your expense reports, which are basically a list of your expenditures on the visit. So you've got to submit that, and that's got to get approved. And then you've got your report. They call it a trip report, usually based on what was done on site, actually. And you've got to submit that, and that's a big deliverable. That's probably the CRA's main deliverable. That's one of the things that they care about most, is getting your reports in on time, your written reports. And those can take anywhere from a couple of hours to like 5-6 hours, depending on the detail required for that visit. So you got to do all this, and you got to juggle all this while being on the road. So if you can imagine, if you're in-house, you're most likely used to working on a few screens. But if you're on the road, you only have that one screen. You only have that laptop screen, which is small. So it's very hard to do work on that thing. But that's what you got to do when you're on the road. So that just adds to the grind. Not to mention you've got to travel sometimes on the weekends, Sunday. If you go into a cool place, let's just say you're going to New York City around July 4th, you can extend it. So you can fly up Friday, maybe hang out with some friends, or even just get a hotel room yourself for those couple of days if you just want to spend July 4th in the city, just kind of catching a vibe. That's awesome. But you've got to work around it. And, that just goes to show how much of a grind actually being a CRA is, because it's a lot of work as is, and you don't necessarily have the best tool to do it, multiple screens, so you got to kind of do it on the road. Not to mention you're tired. Sometimes your flights are in the morning. Sometimes your flights are at night. You're getting in late at night. So, you're going to wake up tired the next day maybe. Maybe you don't sleep well in hotels, or maybe the bed wasn't comfortable, or something like that. Maybe you've gotten sick from the food. So there's a lot of things going into the daily grind of being a CRA that you've got to kind of manage. So we'll do video topics on how to manage this, how to stay healthy. That's something that I'm really interested in, is how people are staying healthy while on the road. So I'm gonna bring in some of my colleagues here, some of my friends that are also CRAs, and we're gonna discuss how to stay healthy on the road, things to pack for your suitcase, luggage, all that good stuff. Got a lot of things coming for you, but only if you're interested. So comment down below if you're interested in those type of topics, some of those CRA related topics that you might find interesting. So here, if you're watching on YouTube, here's the gym. I go to the gym almost every day while I'm on site. That's something I do immediately right after I get back from the site. And then I'll usually figure out the dinner situation, or if I'm going to be working or whatever that situation is. But the gym is a must. My thing is, I've got at least 20 to 30 minutes every day. I got to hit the gym. It's just that important. Here's the bone marrow and with oxtail on the side. It's amazing. There's a salad. I usually always get a salad too. And then of course you can get alcohol too if you're at dinner. So that's always good. Hotels are always good. I mean, but for someone who's not a CRA, you're like, how could a hotel ever be tiring? You're staying at the W. You're staying at an awesome Hilton. You're staying at a Marriott downtown in these cities. How could you ever get tired of that? And it just goes to show that it is possible. Sometimes you just get homesick. Sometimes you're like, dang, if I could just be in one place for some time. But that's the job. Then you got to start it over again. You got to go back out on Sunday. So I've got to be honest, while I've been a CRA, I have really, really enjoyed my weekends absolutely doing nothing. I'm not going to no bars during the weekends. I'm not, doing all this. I'm not going out and going crazy. The weekends for me is the time to relax, maybe do a little bit of work, but it's time for me to relax, get in the zone, and get ready for that Monday. Because most likely I'm flying out to go somewhere. So that's just the daily grind, guys. Just want to let you guys know it's not all sunshines and rainbows with being a CRA. There is a grind involved, and you've got to kind of work it. So, got any questions? Comment down below, as always. Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Email us eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com if you'd like any resume review action. If you'd like any interview prep, you're trying to be a CRA, you want to make sure that you have good experience, that your resume is uptight, and that your interview skills are great, because this profession is getting more and more competitive. So email me eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. All right, guys, take care.